Good evening, guys. I hope everybody is doing all right. Tonight, I'm spoon feeding you again. All right. So, Christmas time, I want a prop from everybody. I'm just joking. Listen, guys, I'm getting mildly annoyed with companies contacting me and actually complaining about teachers on our page dropping negative comments on their advertisements on our page. I'm not getting annoyed with the teachers, I'm actually getting annoyed with the companies. Because I believe on our page, if a teacher has had a negative experience with a company or a teacher believes that the hourly rate is too low, then they sure as hell should be able to point that out in the comments section. Which is why I have a policy now that if a company starts deleting comments or stops the comments section, then I'm going to remove their advertisements from our page. The whole point about the page is to act in the best interest of the teachers, to try to help them to get jobs, not to get exploited and not to get defrauded. So if teachers are not allowed to comment, then these companies should not be able to advertise on our page. And our page has grown very well. We've done well. We've looked after our teachers. Goodness knows I put a lot of hours into trying to help you, which is what I've done now again. Today I'm going to talk to you about European companies. And please, please listen to me. Because if you're not going to listen to me, most especially the teachers out there that don't have degrees, you're always going to be stuck earning something between $4 and $6 an hour. Okay, and I'm actually at a point now where I think companies have gotten so used to charging these hourly rates that they think that they're entitled to do it by law. I guess there's nothing preventing it legally, and I wasn't implying that at all. But what I'm saying is that a teacher is worth more than those hourly rates. So all the companies I've compiled for you guys tonight, all of them pay more than $8 an hour. All of them. And all of the companies I've listed for you tonight, none of them require degrees. Some of them require you to be a registered student. The majority of them don't even require that. Some of them require experience, and so on, but none of them, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 European companies that I've listed for you. Okay. At the end of the video, I'm also going to attach a link to these companies in the comment section in the video. Okay. And then go and apply to these jobs. Because the only reason why I've started this blog, I really like seeing you guys doing well. For some reason, it really makes me happy. And I also don't want people to lose faith in their abilities. I don't want my teachers on my page to start believing that they are only worth those measly hourly rates, because they're not. I sincerely believe that the absolute majority of teachers on our page are entitled to at least double the average hourly rate which they are being offered at the moment. Okay. I don't have a personal vendetta against any of the Asian companies, but I will say this: I think that they are currently paying appalling hourly rates, and I think I work with so many teachers every week. It's now reached a level where the companies actually contact me, and they've approached me with all sorts of things, this and that, and I've been stubborn. I'm sorry, but I don't want anything from them. By the grace of God, like I said, I have a good job, and I'm registered with several companies, and I don't need them to offer me anything, and I don't want anything from them. What I do want is I want my teachers to have a higher average hourly rate as an income. And I'll tell you why. Because teaching is considered a professional job. Okay, so why should you get paid such my goodness, I want to call it a demoralizing hourly rate? Yes, a lot of the teachers on the page are suffering, but that is absolutely no excuse for allowing companies to exploit you. And you know what? I have so much respect for many of the teachers who have taken jobs paying them. I've heard of teachers getting paid $2.85 an hour. Those companies are not allowed to advertise on our page anymore. I mean, there's no way that anybody can justify that hourly rate. If you are working for an hourly rate like that, I have the utmost respect for you because you are trying your best to keep your head above water. So nothing that I'm saying is intended to demoralize you or to be derogatory in any way. On the contrary, what I'm saying to you is that it is only heartbreaking and saddening to see that companies would be willing to pay you that because they know that you're in a jeopardizing position. So, my advice is to go to these companies and apply to them. I am now going to try. Guys, I work many hours every day. Um, and because I don't earn an income from what I do here, I can't spend too many hours training teachers, mentoring them, and even my videos I don't post as often as I used to. It's not because I'm lazy or that I've forgotten about you or don't care. It's just I'm really exhausted some nights after working maybe 8 or 10 hours. And I know many of you work even more hours than I do, and you get paid less than half that I do for the same amount of hours. And that to me is shocking. Shocking. And I might be criticized after making this video. And I know I subject myself to criticism. But unlike these companies, if somebody wants to criticize anything I say, then they should be entitled to do it. I am certainly not going to delete their comments. I will only delete a comment if it amounts to hate speech, racism, or if it's religiously or culturally disrespectful. Otherwise, you can say about me or any company whatever you want to. In fact, I encourage it. And that is the whole point of having an online teaching page, is so that people can get a general perspective or idea of what certain companies are doing right on which. But always remember, a recruiter that's going to post, they're always going to only describe this company as being wonderful and amazing, and they're never going to give you an objective opinion of their own company because they're getting paid for advertising, which is why I have continuously declined the offers I've had to advertise for companies, because then I lose my moral high ground, and then you should have no reason to even trust me. So they can keep their commissions, and I don't want it. What I do want, as I've said before, and I apologize for being repetitive, is I do want you guys to start earning higher hourly rates. Because I don't see any reasons why you should not be able to. Okay. The first company is Vivaling. Alright. As I said, I am going to attach the company and the application process in one link at the bottom of this video. Okay. Vivaling offers $20 an hour. Okay. In my opinion, it's got a 3-star rating, 3 out of 5 for the amount of reviews that they got, which is fine. Also keep in mind, European companies are compelled by law. So the likelihood of you running into trouble with regards to getting paid or getting unjustified deductions or getting dismissed for absolutely arbitrary reasons is incredibly unlikely. Okay. And in general, they maintain a higher average standard of ethical values in general. In fact, I've never come across any of them that I've dealt with that I've read any reviews on Glassdoor, Reddit, or Indeed, where people have complained about not getting their salaries or being dismissed. I've heard some teachers complaining, yes, I'm getting paid $12 an hour, and I've been being paid $12 an hour for the past 2 years without getting an increase on my salary. It's a legitimate argument, but none of them ever said they didn't pay me or I'm not getting enough hours or this or that. Okay. In any event, $12 an hour is $7 more than what the average South African teacher is getting paid at the moment, from what I can gather. So, okay, so that is Vivaling. Then it's Learnships. Yes, Learnship. $16 to $18 an hour. Then it's Mingle. They've also got a 3 out of 5 star review. $18 to $24 an hour. WooSpeak. My goodness, these companies do have odd names. They offer between $12 and $16 an hour. Keep in mind, as I've said before, you don't need a degree for any of these companies. All right. I think there's one or two where you might need to be a registered student, but none of them require a degree. Education stream, $12 to $15 an hour. Okay. Um, Lingoda, $8 to $13 an hour. It's still a respectable hourly rate. Inglosimo is $8 to $12 an hour. Yeah, that was the same one, sorry. And Gimlish, $15 to $23 an hour. Okay. So actually the average hourly rate on this list is more than $10 an hour. Now the only favor I'm going to ask you is that you apply to these companies and give me feedback. Okay. I might even be able, if I have the time, to contact some of these companies. I don't have that liberty at the moment. If you apply to any of these companies and you have any sort of problem, if I have the time, I mean, send me an inbox. You can all check me up. I mean, you'll be able to see my horrible profile picture on Facebook, and then just send me a message request. If I have the time and I can get to it, I will try my best to do something to help you. If you have trouble with your application process or you don't understand something, I try to help about 3 or 4 teachers a week. I can't always, but I do try to help 3 or 4 teachers a week. Okay. So, guys, like I said, if you're not going to do this, you will be stuck. And you will never realistically be able to earn an income that is capable of producing, which is capable of sustaining a relatively good lifestyle. I was just told tonight that 6,000 Rand a month is relatively wealthy. My goodness, if your Wi-Fi costs 1,000 Rand and you've paid your rent, what is left of that 6,000 Rand? Nothing. And this is why I am sorry tonight. I am mildly annoyed with the degree of presumptuousness that these companies have displayed and lack of interest in the best interests of the teachers. So, like I said, working for $5 an hour, if you get a lot of hours, you're entitled to do it. But the purpose of this video is actually to explain to you that there's no particular reason why you should have to, or why you should believe that this is the only option that you have, because that is simply not true. These European companies, the one I work for, I signed a non-disclosure contract. Otherwise, I always tell you which companies I've worked for, and I have done it continuously. This company has a lot of South Africans working for them, and it's a European company. And I've spoken to some of my students, and they said they have had other teachers who have taught them who have been South African. With these companies, you don't have like these group ding talk chats or some group page like on WhatsApp where the teachers contact each other. These companies are incredibly professional, provide you extremely high quality material to teach with. The only catch-22 is that the application process and the training might be slightly tedious. But it's absolutely well worth it. I mean, if you're going to be pushing $12 an hour, then you still win all the way. So yes, I'm finished now with my ranting with regards to the teachers on the page getting paid too little. So now go, after you've watched this video, and apply to these companies. Okay. And if you know other teachers, because I cannot get to everybody. Okay. If you know any other teachers, share the video, give them this list, and let them apply as well. Let us not monopolize these schools. If you're going to share the video and let other people apply, that is not going to reduce your chances of getting a job, because these companies are looking for a lot of teachers. Even the company I'm working for now, you have no idea how many hours they give me, okay? And they still don't even have enough teachers. And you work exclusive, well, not exclusive, well, yes, I've never worked with any other students, well, any students outside of Europe. Spanish students, Portuguese students, German students, Dutch students, Italian students, and they're all adults. So, and okay, so let's just go into that topic quickly. If you've never taught adults, then don't go into a panic. Okay, it's really actually much easier teaching adults than it is teaching young children. Honestly, take my word for it. And you don't need to be some sort of a specialist to be able to teach adults. Okay, so guys, now you have it. I will try to make another video next week. And if you want to get these updates every week, because my intent is now to post a list of 6 or 7 European companies for you every week. Okay, so if you want to get an update on this list every week, just press on the subscribe button, and every time I premiere the video, and it will 9 out of 10 times my video will only be about new companies, or if there is some major issue like a company who's defrauding teachers, or if there is a heavy debate, I'll make a video about that. But mostly the only real big benefit you can get from subscribing is being updated about what's going on in the online teaching world, and also to get updated on the European companies who are actively hiring teachers and actively hire South African teachers. Okay, we have the big companies hiring, Magic Ears, Camly, and so on, but so many teachers get turned down from these companies. I mean, I don't live in a box. I read our page every day. I look at the comments. I look at what the teachers are saying. I think probably like more than 9 out of 10 of the teachers who applied to Camly never hear from them again. Now and then you'll see a teacher who's really excited about getting employed and so on. And then I'm glad for them. So I'm not discouraging you from applying to Camly. So they pay $10 an hour. It's an easy platform. It's good money. I'm just saying you can't really rely on Camly to provide for everybody, and they're not providing for everybody. So you need to broaden your horizons. There's this impression going around that everybody should be applying only to Asian companies. Where and how this started, I cannot tell you. I assume because they advertise a lot more. These European companies don't advertise as much on Facebook. They advertise on real, professional advertising social media platforms like Indeed. That's why you don't see these companies on Facebook. Just because advertising on Facebook is a very effective way of making people aware of the fact that your company is hiring. But certain companies feel that it is not the best professional decision to make to advertise on Facebook. I can't really say one way or the other. Look, if you're a recruiter and you advertise, it's fair game. I mean, if you want to advertise on Instagram, and Instagram has also become quite hot now for online teaching recruiters, and a lot of teachers are applying for jobs via Instagram. And I'm on some of the, sorry, I'm looking at my tablet now. I'm on some of these Instagram pages. But ultimately, they don't pay much more than $6 an hour for South Africans. Um, and there's also the other issue, and this is incredibly controversial, but the European companies don't care from which racial or cultural denomination you come from. It's not something that they consider at all. What they do consider is your accent and your likely and your likely ability to be a competent teacher, and that's it. That's it. I mean, the company I work for have teachers from all over Africa, not just South Africa. I think some of them are from Kenya even. Um, and there's nothing wrong with Kenya. It's absolutely right for them to consider Kenyans as well. Uh, but the point I'm trying to make is that these companies will look at you for what you are worth to them, and they will pay you a lot more than the average income you will get. Apply to these companies. They don't always respond immediately, just like any other job application. And if you get an interview and you have trouble with regards to these European companies, if you have an interview or trouble with the other Asian companies, it's all the same. I've applied to so many of them. The whole system is just the same. Blah blah. Do a demo. Make a pretty introduction video, and you'll get a job. Um, I have helped countless teachers apply to the Asian companies, and some of them got the jobs. Uh, Now I'm really focused on getting teachers into jobs where they can work as online teachers on a full-time basis and earn a respectable income which will enable them to sustain a middle-class lifestyle, which is what every single teacher should be entitled to, whether you have a degree or not. Because the teacher who has a degree works exactly the same hours as the teacher who doesn't have the degree. And more often than not, they often work less hours and earn more. So I would really wish you all the best with this. And if you don't get sorted out with any of these companies, don't despair. Like I said, subscribe. Every time I post, next week I'll post another couple of European companies, 5 or 6. Then you'll automatically see that I've just posted another video, and then you can have a look. Okay, and please share this information, because like I said, I can only attend to the teachers on our page. I cannot get to all the safas on all the other pages. And if you know any of them and they're struggling, share this information. Do not monopolize it. Guys, if you share this with 10 other people, it won't even make a difference. Other than the fact that you might help somebody to earn some money to put food on the table. All right. I wish you all the best. And as I always say, good hunting. And as sometime next week, I will post another list. If after the video you've dealt with any of these companies and you can give any feedback in the comments section, please do. And if it's negative or positive, it doesn't matter. Just let us know and let us find out. And I encourage that very much. And if you've applied successfully or unsuccessfully to any of these companies, please drop a comment in the comment section, because that will enable me to eliminate certain companies. However, from what I can see on the net, these companies have had good reviews from teachers from all over the world. All right, guys, I wish you all the best. Good hunting.